Oh boy, Junkertown. Okay. God. And this is a open queue, or I mean, not roll queue, right?
This is roll queue, yeah.
Roll queue, got it. Okay. So it looks like you guys are starting on attack first. All right. Let's see what comp we got right here. What elo do you think this was about?
This was 2200.
2200. Okay. You're just right here. Okay. So I think this is looking like the comp you guys are gonna roll out on. Maybe Mercy might swap. No, she's gonna stay Mercy. Okay. Oh, nice shot by the way. Okay, so Ryan Zarya, Mercy Brig, Sombra Hanzo, and then it looks like they're running Ryan Diva. Okay. So what do you think your job in this composition would kind of be?
I think
What
I'm
do
just
you
trying
sort of
to. I think I'm just trying to provide, like, ideally a pick.
Mhm.
That was what was going through my mind basically every fight.
Mhm.
I was looking for the squishies like the whole time. I think I
Yeah.
rarely shot at both tanks, if I could help it.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of this composition that your team has is actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because you have the Rhine Zarya, right? So you have the Brawl, but then you have a Mercy, and Mercy's just not great with Rhine Zarya. And then you also have this like Brig, which is not a main healer, not very good. So the Mercy's gonna have to do most of the healing, and the Brig is only gonna be there in case like their Diva dives in or their Symmetra or something.
Yeah.
So not very good on the heal side. The heal tank synergy is not really there. And on top of that, you have a Sombra. So really, when it comes to frontline pressure and damage, you're one of the only sources that your team has, because both of your healers don't really do shield damage.
Right.
You got a Rhine Zarya with low heals, and then your Sombra is going to be probably, if she's playing well, going to be playing in the back line, but she's not going to be shooting shields like at all. So you basically are the main source of shield damage. And also another thing is long range poke, because if there's like some long range threat, in this case it's probably just gonna be the McCree and the Ana. You kind of have to are one of the primary response to that sort of setup that they have. So you do have quite a large job here, but you are at some advantage because they have a McCree, Symmetra, so if you do take a duel with either DPS, you should have some advantages there with your Storm Arrow and your longer range. So let's just watch this from your perspective for a little bit. Is this just out of curiosity, is this a loss or a win?
It was a win.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
nice. Hey, we take those. We take those. We take those. Any kill's a free kill. All right, so pushing out the Diva here. Getting a good high ground angle. This is good. Right. Pushed off high ground. Yeah, so already you can kind of see there's a massive difference in how much frontline pressure your team has versus their team. Like your Ryan is antied off the bat. We don't. Your team doesn't have an anti, so they don't have that same advantage. This Ryan is full and well. This Diva was like pushing all over this bridge and was staying basically high health.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a large advantage, and it's gonna be really hard for your frontline here. So what it's going to come down to is it's going to come down to you being able to make a play or create enough of a presence so that they have to invest resources into you, and then that'll take away pressure from your front line, and that'll let them push up a little more aggressively. Let's keep watching. Yeah, your Ryan's in No-Noville. And your Brig is very far, yeah. Okay, taking this duel. Got a headshot there. Oh, that's their Ryan. That's good. Pushing up here. Good kills. So far, not too bad.
All right.
You guys won that team fight. Yeah. Nice shot. Nice. Okay, yeah, that was a that team fight actually went a lot differently than I was expecting. I think what happened here is their sim was just not where she needed to be. But hey, take advantage of those. I mean, this is. I mean that is
It's
that is a
a gold
2200
moment.
lobby play,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you take those, you take those, you take those for a free team fight win because they definitely should have won that one there. They just got really aggressive because they saw the shield break and the anti. So yeah, so far I mean nothing too bad here. I see you dueling the McCree and keeping him busy, and that was pretty good. In a different situation, he might have been able to kill you there. With because he got that headshot.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't able to land the follow-up shots. But I I think the idea is solid. But again, one of the things with this team comp is that since you're the main primary source of frontline damage, you can take like a couple shots at that, but I honestly would probably invest a lot of like your abilities and resources, maybe shooting sort of at the tanks or maybe someone that's flanking on the side. At least like storm arrow in the shield because that'll help your Rhine out a lot. That's one really helpful thing. Storm arrow does a lot of damage to shields is one of its primary uses, so it's kind of helpful to your front line to just help them out there in that regard. But yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, we'll see because now there's ults on the table. So this was a good shot again. Nice timing. Okay. Good shot there. Oh my god, your Ryan got bodied.
I know.
It's good. She's just wasting those, and I don't think they're gonna be able to touch. Okay, good. Yeah. And another thing too is that so you took a pretty aggressive position here. This is I mean, this is fine. It's a nice high ground and it lets you have perspective of both windows here where they might touch. But in the event that they do like push out, or if they like push out here on your front line, no, actually this position's fine. Taking good high ground position. No, never mind. I was kind of just thinking like if they took like a aggro push here onto the cart, it'd be a little hard for your front line to sort of keep up if you're like on an off angle. But this is actually fine because you'd still be able to get a decent amount of pressure. Okay, so they're on Winston now. That is gonna be interesting. Monkey. This is a good off angle here. In the event that you do get a pick here, that's a very powerful way to snowball second point.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this point. Like this point where I'm right now is like really highly contentious when you're on the attacking. I hear that like you really want to take this position.
Yeah, like high ground here, sort of thing. Yeah. This high ground's kind of good, and a lot of time defenders are going to be like up on this high ground, so it's sort of like the card is kind of a death trap because anyone that's down here can get like fire rained on them from like so many different angles, like this window here, up there, up here. So you do kind of want to have dominance over the high ground in that regard. One other thing as well, so. Fortunately, I guess your Mercy, DPS, and your Sombra started pushing this McCree, but you climbed up here to push the monkey, and in like a lot higher, at least maybe not until like diamond, mid diamond. That sort of thing would probably actually be punished because. So you see the baby diva up there, you see your Sombra up there in the Mercy, and you see the monkey, which causes you to sort of just like push up here, but you don't actually have the Rhine, so the Rhine is like a little further behind, and then there's this McCree that's just has like a nice angle onto you. Now it's really hard for him to kill you, especially if there's a Mercy up here too. But the problem with this is that you're just like out in the open, and if you did get shot at, there'd really be nowhere to retreat unless you like walk all the way over here, which is like a really long angle. So you could have probably realistically pushed this a little bit later. Like, I mean, like if you'd push like 5 seconds later, then there'd probably be like a Rhine barrier there. and it is good that you're pushing this monkey because this monkey should not be able to get away with this space. But in the event that this Kree is like, you know, a god or he hits his shots, and just really luckily, it's kind of hard for you to retreat there. So they did nano him. This monkey's sort of just out in the open. So it's a good dragon. Although, oh, you did have grab though. That so actually, the dragon there, you probably should just saved it for the grab there. But I mean, this is a lost fight anyway. So, because what happened here actually? Oh, she just TP'd up with like 0 HP. Ah, I see.
Yeah, the idea,
okay,
the idea with the dragon originally was like since the monkey and everyone was trying to retreat, I was just trying to deny their retreat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think one of the things there is just that so they had the nano monkey out, they had sim turrets set up, and then they also had the high noon at the end there.
Yeah.
So your team kind of got caught out because they were trying to push up one by one, and the turrets kind of scared them over. So unlucky. All right, so at this point, after you saw that you're down 3, I think you should have just booked it, honestly. I think you should have just been like, nah, I'm out of here. Because the more time you spend here, you have both tanks here, and neither of them have healing. And you have more mobility than either of them combined, so...
Yeah, I just get caught.
Are you going to be able to get out? Okay, not quite. No. Yeah, so I would have just legged it there.
Yeah.
But it's alright. I mean, the purpose there is that, like... So now your team is trying to engage, and you might not be there. Oh, you actually got a pick though. That's good. And also you deny a little bit of ult charge from the enemy team, just getting out there. Because dying on card doesn't really help anything if you're on attack. Yeah. So they're rallying here. That was a huge shatter, actually.
It was.
Shatter. Quite sure where that bomb was.
No, I didn't know where it was either.
Yeah. I think in general, so for the most part, like during the beginning of fights, your positioning is really good, but I honestly think you probably could just like push the high ground here because since Ryan got that shatter, it also would have been easier for you to follow up on the kills there. But I'm actually surprised, first of all, that your front line is winning or is doing as well as they are. Because their brig rallied too, and then I think they just all got shattered. But had you, for instance, pushed up here and like taken this position as well, then like any stragglers behind would be a lot easier to shoot them than from this angle here. But for the most part, like, but also like taking an off angle there, like what you did, is also not technically the incorrect play either, because you would have had a pretty good LOS on that staircase there. So, but run shatter, got that there. Flash, big dynamite. So with you being here, so you already have the information that there's a McCree right there that's trying to look for there, and he's obviously looking for a flash right click.
Yeah.
So I would actually probably one of the biggest advantages you have as Hanzo in the McCree matchup is that you have a longer range and no fall off damage. So it would actually probably be better for you here to say set up like right here, maybe even where your ash is, or maybe not like near your ash, but like, you know, this kind of staircase area is actually pretty good. It'll also give you an easier time for like your Brig and Mercy to heal you here, rather than you being sort of here contesting this window. If there's one other person here, like if you had a monkey on your team and he was right here, that would be like a really good position to hold. But in general, if you're solo here up close, you can get caught out pretty easily with their team comp. I don't think they're gonna be able to touch here though. Okay. Taking an off angle here, yeah. I do like how you take these off angles at the beginning of fights, or at the beginning of points as well, because any picks that you do get are going to be like really beneficial for your team.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind that always have like an escape route and option, or an escape option available whenever you're flanking, because if you get pushed, especially if they have like a Diva or a Winston or a movable DPS. it makes flanking all the more dangerous. So you kind of want to be a little careful. Like if the Zarya decided she could push you, and it would actually be
true. Be the
pretty. She could push you. I mean, she may not be able to kill you, but you know, it'll just take more of your team's resources towards like helping you out than anything. Okay. So Ash is taking a high ground there. They're trying to break turrets. Yeah, see, so she's kind of like pushing you on that off angle. And the other thing, okay, that's fine. So right there as well, your Rhine pinned, or wait, what happened there? Yeah, your Rhine. So your Rhine turned around here, so you're actually completely exposed to all 4 of them by being here and taking that this angle right here when you could have actually just like moved over like a couple more inches and been completely safe while still shooting at the Rhine. So it's just like a little awareness, things like that, just realizing when you're out in the open and sort of trying to play closer to cover.
For sure.
Fortunately, you're not getting pushed out there. Big grab dragon. Big grab dragon.
Moment.
And taking a nice strong angle here. Oh, nice shot.
Oh, another Hanzo moment.
Put that brig there. Okay. They're gonna try and push you here. Got out of there though. Wasn't that? Okay, wow. So I think they just got all exposed on cart. Yeah, what's really interesting is that your front line is doing a really good job. But they never are the first ones to die, it feels like. It always feels like there's some like your supports are out in the open, which is just kind of unfortunate. What was I gonna say? I'll just keep watching. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, again, I'd probably just leg it out of here. Yeah, just getting out, regrouping with your team. Like with that, for instance, as well, like playing with your team might have maybe helped out a little bit there.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not that big of a deal. It was just kind of like they ulted here. Because they used like 3 ults there, so. Okay. Honestly, you want my honest opinion? They're all out here in the open, right here. You can just they're not like far enough where they could like easily kill you, except for like a really lucky Hanzo headshot. So use your Rhine space, go over here and just push this monkey out real fast.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was really scared of the monkey, really.
Yeah, because that guy is, if he's in here, he doesn't have LOS of his healers, and he's just very far from his team. So you could have just pushed him there. But I think your team sort of does that, yeah. Okay, so I think your Rhine is actually, it kind of looks like they're going high ground as well. So now you are, yeah, okay, so I think you're going up high ground here. These platforms are so stupid, by the way. That happens to me a lot of the time. I got a monkey on you. Yeah, and see, because, where are your healers here? Yeah, your healers sort of follow your Rhine in, I think, and your Brig's actually down there. So by you taking this left angle, it was like a higher risk opportunity, but also if you got pushed, it's a lot harder for you to get value. You might be able to rest here. Looks like it. And then this is probably where I'd actually probably play a little bit closer to the main, because since your Rhine is just basically pushing up here, it'll basically snowball the entire thing if you just are helping him focus down targets and that sort of thing. Taking a Hanzo duel here. It's lucky. Ryan is just giga chatting.
Yeah, I think that's one of my bigger issues. I don't know when to identify when I should be off angling and when I should be maining.
Honestly, I think the thing, like, a lot of the time you look at like off angles, right? And the entire purpose with like off angles is Widow and Hanzo is to get a pick, right? But like in this scenario, they're running 1 shield, and also it's Junkertown where like things are pretty out in the open, so you can actually get a lot of pick opportunities if you're just playing like on a perch somewhere near your team.
Yeah.
Because not only that, but like a lot of the time when you're off angling, you might notice that like you just have times where you're just like not able to shoot at anything because there's like nothing in your view. And it's times like that, like loss of time like that, that's sort of just like you could be getting a lot more value out of literally just like shooting a shield or like pressuring someone out from the front line than you would from just like off angling and slowly sort of peeking closer and closer, trying to get a headshot and moving back.
Yeah, for sure.
So especially since you're right. I just realized that your Sombra switched to Ashe. And she switched to Ashe a while ago, which is pretty helpful because that is also a lot of frontline pressure with the dynamite, and she's sort of taking angles like that. So if you see that she's doing that, then you're probably free to off angle as well. But if you notice that your front line needs a little bit of help sometimes, then yeah, you can go help them out. That was a pretty good attack round, though. I mean, overall your team's performance, pretty good. Aside from just a few fights that were lost because of ults. So, but another nice thing about off angling or going on a flank is that if you if you notice that your team is like not able to like really move much, or like there's like one target that's just like completely dominating your team, like some McCree that's smurfing or something like that, that's where it kind of gets helpful to off angle. And you see that a lot of time with off tank as well, that you just get a lot of value by directing attention away. Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those things where if you're doing a frontline battle, then and nothing's really happening, then you can consider taking a flank or an off angle just to get something done.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, playing around this cover is fine. Nice headshot there. This is just a really weird position right now, but yeah, you always stand aware of your team. Obviously very helpful. Yeah. I forget to do it though. Like everyone forget that. It's just unfortunate. Yeah, there's shield up there. But yeah, I mean, like, so I mean it's partially your team's fault as well, because like if you had a little bit of help here on this high ground, because that guy had a shield and he had a pocket as well. I think you're gonna res here though, right? Okay, and their Sigma dropped.
Okay, right here I really didn't know what to do. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah. So this is probably one of the snares. So they're running double shield now. That in this case, it's more than ever important. Nice shot, to sort of have a lot of frontline pressure, because you're the only like that. That's good, breaking the shield there. But you're also really exposed here. That's a good headshot. Your shots are really good here too. Right. Yeah, but it's like little moments like, this where you're like repositioning or that sort of thing, where you're just kind of not getting that much value. Yeah, and I kind of feel like you're actually really far back right now. Yeah, and your run's getting caught out there. It wasn't your fault. He was pushing up a little bit too much as well. But you might have been able to get a pick there if you were like a little closer up.
Oh yeah, the purpose of that dragon was trying to save my Ryan, but I think he still dies here.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, your Zarya is not really close to grab, and had that dragon got like a pick or something, it might have actually been able to turn the fight. Again, not your fault. Your Ryan was just really far up, and he just lost his shield and instantly died. He's gonna die here again. But I honestly think that like during that little like push up there, you could have just like pushed up maybe like to this corner even, and then if they did push you, then you'd be able to like lunge back, and if they did push up here, then they'd be like essentially jumping into your entire team. Yeah. So this is actually a pretty safe position. If you just like moved up here and like helped pressure, it would have been easier for you to get like headshots and potentially picks on people, and also would have saved your Ryan's ass who's fucking feeding in the back line. So okay, so they do take the point. They do take the fight there, and now you're going for the recontest. And they're also on Hanzo as well. They switched halfway through the last round, so you do have a competition of that. I got fucked. Okay, so taking a bottom angle here. Again, I'd be a little wary about an angle like this, because if you push out with your Ryan, I don't think this point's actually takeable, especially since they're ulting here. But had you pushed out with your Ryan here, you just had like a lot more of just like a front pressure here. Taking this angle here is fine, but it's got a couple problems. It's got like the low ground here. They have shields. They have double shield. And it's just really hard to find an angle here that's of value. Nice kill there. Nice shots there. Well, this could actually be winnable. Hey, Ryan's swag. Oh, he died there though. Oh, that's so unlucky.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Yeah, it just might have been better to go high ground there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like one of the things I just like am noticing is just that it feels like there's a lot of the time where you're either like positioning or trying to find an angle that during that time you're just not
doing
there
anything.
with your with your the rest of your team. So, and in the event that they do push you, you just won't have any heals there. So so for here, for example, this Hanzo could just like get like I mean, he's shooting at your tanks, but if he saw you out of position here, then it would have been pretty easy to punish you because I mean, the only cover you would have would be the side of the staircase, which is just not the greatest. So I think just like being here, I don't know where your Ash is, but like, you being like a DPS presence here. Now they do have double shield, and you do have Ryan Zarya or Ryan Ball now for some reason, and it is on Junkertown, so they do have a pretty significant advantage. But like the only real way I think that you get a lot of value here is just by like if their tanks push up, sort of keep them in check by shooting at them, and then keep taking sort of pot shots near the back line to sort of prevent them from peeking in angle. One of the strengths of Hanzo. Okay. And so you could like storm mirror that shield, for example. That is a huge anti.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's 6 people, by the way, in that shatter.
Yeah. See, like the thing is, one of the things about that is this guy's playing really aggressively, but it also feels like from both your Ash and you sometimes there's just not a lot of like follow up to the space that he's getting because either you two are repositioning or on an angle.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like that's that's just sort of what's catching him off. He probably would have been like really pissed flaming in the chat, honestly. Even though he is feeding a little bit, like that would be the kind of guy that's like, oh guys, I shattered 6, why didn't we get in there, kind of thing. And you invest Bob here while the bond goes up, so that's just gonna instantly die. Holy. Wait, let me move back a little bit. Yeah, so like when you hear that shatter, for example, it doesn't even matter if you're in cover or not. Just go out because even if there are people that are not shattered, they're gonna be so focused on this Ryan that shattered like at least 3 people. That's like everyone. They're gonna be so focused on this Ryan that just used shatter that they're probably not gonna shoot at you even if you are out in the open. So I think you could just play a little bit more aggressive here. And that Orisa is also just caught out in the open, but is able to bongo for free. Okay. It's a pretty decent dragon. That Sigma might be able to die here. But your Mercy, oh my god, your Mercy got fucked. Yeah, like that's a good storm arrow because you see how she instinctively like backed up there as well. I think you're still gonna lose this because the ball got picked there. Nice pick though. Maybe winnable. Actually, definitely winnable. Nice.
Yeah, right there. I just kind of recognized that the Orisa just like wasn't looking at me, so I'm like.
Yeah, like this Orisa, I just feel this is like one of the things I think with you helping out the front line is because you notice how many times that you have where you can just like that Sigma there, for example, or that Orisa, where they're just like just such an easy pick off, given the right given the right opportunity when you look at them. Like you can actually what you can do if you do off angle like this is since they'll have like a lot less frontline pressure, so they'll be like, oh, I can push up, I can make space here since I'm not taking much damage and I have shields available. Yeah, so they'll move up, and then when they're just sort of out in the open, which happens a lot in gold, that's when you can like really punish them, especially Orisa with like big fat hitbox. Sigma was like right over here because that zoning dragon, like they're just pushing up a lot because of the amount of space that is being given by you and this Ash, and so you can use that to your advantage. And also you can, or alternatively, you can sort of punish that as well just early on just by being there with your front line.
True.
Like a little bit of flanking's good, but also like being there with your front line, just helping your Ryan out is also going to help him, especially since it's double shield.
Yeah. And
you're the main shield break. Yeah, like that guy's like out in the open. That Sigma there. That's a good shot. Nice. Oh, nice shots on that on it too. Nice shots. Yeah, like here you can even be more aggressive. Like you can like just straight up like that's good there, but like you could even just like go right
up.
here, just
Yeah,
get into
yeah.
Sigma's face because if they're down 3, like you can just play way more aggressive.
Yeah.
Like this Sigma should die here. But I see you moving back here. I think you could have just gone up there and sort of secured the kill because now he's gonna get out.
Yeah, true, true.
So taking a duel with that, taking a duel with that guy. Okay, got the Sonic on him. Honestly, I think he could have probably stayed up there. Taking this duel though. Ooh. Good shots though. He's gonna be a little scared here. Okay, well that was a little bit of creative game plan.
A little creative.
They won that there. Yeah, so one of the things that yeah, like I was sort of mentioning earlier, every time you take like a 1v1 or like trying to pressure someone out, that's your resources that are sort of taken away from the fight. So to the rest of your teammates, it's almost like you're dead because you're sort of taking like a one-on-one or something that doesn't really impact them a lot of the time, or you know, or they can't see you or help you in that regard. So it's, but it does get value obviously if you win the 1v1.
Yeah.
That's just unlucky there, but this guy should really die, and you also get the res here. But that guy was really far out. Yeah, saving Stormare for Monkey, really good counter. Because it breaks bubble fast and also does a lot of damage to him. That guy's 1. Nice shots. If it's just tanks and you know the hog doesn't have hook, you can just full LS them because neither of them can kill you.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah, just being a little careful here. They do have a Sonic on you, so you want to be a little careful here. Especially since that Widow is going on some shenanigans. You see her there. They got the Sonic on her. Might be able to kill her here. Okay. Looking Fire Strike. And then the mines are here. That's looking pretty good, yeah. It's pretty much over here. Okay. Nice though. This is a solid win. So honestly, you won a fair amount of fights for your team, like I'd say almost even on your own, whether it be through a dragon or like you popping off. Like there were a lot of instances of that, but honestly I feel like this overall was just quite a large team diff because your Ryan was on something else.
Yeah.
Their front line was losing even though they had a Mercy Brig with the Ryan Zarya, and your Ashe was not like feeding or anything, so I think it was overall just a pretty big team gap there. But there are certainly a lot of things to point out here. Like one, I think the 3 biggest takeaways here, from what I've seen at least, is sort of spacing out when you are actually flanking and off angling, and when you're just in your front line helping them win the front line battle.
Yeah.
Because given that at the beginning of the game you were the Hanzo and the other DPS was a Sombra, since you're the most the shield pressure, you kind of want to get value in that regard. It's just always guaranteeing that you're getting value as opposed to just trying to find value on a flank. And then every time you're positioning or moving around or slowly peeking out, that's like value you're not getting. So and the other thing, yeah, so like, and when you are flanking there, just sort of being aware of who can push you, how much of a threat they pose, that sort of thing, so that it's less likely for you to get picked off there. Yeah. And then another thing too is just I think you could be a lot more aggressive when you have the opportunity, because there were a lot of times where there's just a lot of space available and you could have just pushed up there, whether that be that Sigma at the end there, or just like a lot of cases where you guys were up 2 or up 3. I think you could have been like really aggressive and made your position known so that they have to either back off really aggro or you get a pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll help your front line out a great amount too. It'll be harder for them to regroup for a fight. And then just sort of being aware of what your team's doing, where they are, will help you sort of decide when you want to flank, when you want to engage, when you want to help your front line out, and then who's the biggest threat on their team if you need to contest them. So yeah, I mean, Yeah, I think this is pretty useful. If you want me to be real here, I think you actually, even just like VOD reviewing yourself, you might actually get a lot of input onto yourself if you VOD review a loss.
Yeah.
Because the thing about this was that since your team was winning so many fights, it was kind of hard to point out like, oh, you know, this is a problem, or like, oh, this is like there's no like glaring flaw, honestly, because your team was able to either help you out through it, or you were able to get enough value so that your team won the fight. Whereas if you were in a more dire situation, like maybe your tanks weren't playing as well and you just had to get more value in order to win the game, that's where some things like, you know, oh, I'm positioned poorly, or I could have pushed this person. That's where that'll become more obvious. And then over time, that'll help your snowballs be a lot more effective.
Very true,
so something to consider. But yeah, I mean, this is a good game.
Nice. Well, thank you again for this.
Yeah, thanks for letting me like pick this apart and look at it.
Let's
It was
go.
cool.